Hi everyone, my name is Michelle. Welcome to Pep Talks. So in our previous episode, we talked about the subconscious mind and its integral role that it plays in your life. And the fact that 95% of the way you see your life, how you act, behave, and show up in the world is on autopilot. And the subconscious mind is running the show. We also talked about how to rewire or reprogram your subconscious mind, like how to create new belief systems that are going to be congruent with what you want in life. In this episode, we're actually going to talk about why that's important. So I'm super left-brained and I'm a bit of a researcher. I analyze a lot. I like understanding the science, why things work, how things work. That's just how I'm wired and I love that. It's also helped me to unearth and discover the way things work in this reality and how it can benefit me and how I can help others with it. So what I stumbled across is the reason you want to be aware of what's going on in your subconscious mind and craft your thoughts to be more positive or serve you is because your thoughts are creative. And here I'm going to explain this in a second. But as I mentioned, you had 3 layers of consciousness, the superconscious, your conscious mind, and your subconscious mind. Well, I touched upon it a little bit, I believe, in the last video. The main premise is your thought is the highest form of energy. It's faster than the speed of sound, faster than the speed of light. You think a thought, and that energy frequency goes out into the universe faster than anything we can comprehend. So when you actually stop and think about it, look around in your world, look around in the universe. Everything from the cup to who we are, to the lamp, to the TV, to the wine glass, to the houses, everything is matter. Everything is made of energy. We learned that concept in 4th grade, everything's energy and matter, which in essence, what our scientists know is that everything is energy. It's a mathematical equation of electrons, neutrons, protons, operating and behaving together in certain sequences that produce physical matter. And in fact, it gets kind of sticky because our scientists aren't really quite sure what's going on, because 90% of what you're touching and feeling and around you is not even there. It's just space in between space. So if you dive into quantum physics and physics, it gets really technical, but it's super fascinating. And here's how it applies to you. Everything that you're looking at is energy. Everything. Thought is the highest form of energy. Where do you think any of these things came from in your universe? It all started in thought. Every single thing that you're looking at, that you experience, that you use, that you deal with, started in thought when it comes to, non-nature stuff. So the inanimate objects. Someone thought of it. Someone designed it. It got created. Everything around you started in thought. Now, what our scientists also know, being that everything is energy and it's made of electrons, protons, neutrons, all that, just different mathematical equations, the things around us are energy, just like our thought is energy. They emit a frequency, just like our thoughts are a frequency. So whenever you think a thought, let's say you're thinking about driving a new car that you want, let's say a new BMW. Let's say you want a BMW or a Mercedes or Honda, whatever you may want. Let's say you're thinking of that car. That thought has a frequency. As you think about that thought and feel the feelings of what it would be like driving it, visualizing the feelings of being in that vehicle, what you will start to notice is that it heightens your perception. All of a sudden, everywhere you look, there's that car. Have you ever noticed that? Or have you ever noticed like something you're thinking about, then it starts showing up? I had this phenomenon happen when I was younger. When I was in middle school and elementary school, and even high school, anytime I liked a guy and I was thinking about him and I was getting all the butterflies or whatnot, I would see his name everywhere. I'd even see him. He'd be at places that he wouldn't normally go, but I would see his name. And it didn't matter on the guy. Anytime I liked someone. It's because where your focus goes, energy is growing. So when you're putting focus on something, you're thinking a thought. That thought goes out into the universe and it is attracting back its like equivalent, its vibrational equivalent. I know that sounds a little bit technical. There's a fabulous movie that I highly recommend you all watch if you haven't seen it yet. It's called What the Bleep Do We Know? It just does a really good job with the science side of things and different studies that our scientists are undergoing to unearth more information about energy, how it behaves, how our thoughts interact, how our consciousness is instrumental in creating everything in our reality. So watch that movie, What the Bleep Do We Know? There's another good movie that does a good job as an introduction. I think it's called The Secret. That came out in, I think, early 2000. But What the Bleep Do We Know really talks about the science behind this. All the things, the physical matter around us are particles. It's all made of particles. There's a tangible physicalness to them. And when you think a thought, it's emitting a frequency. Those things that you're wanting around you have a frequency. So you say, okay, why should I think positive, Michelle? Well, here's why. When you think a thought, you are attracting back like a magnet its equivalent, its vibrational equivalent. It may not be the exact thing, or it may be. Like if you think the new BMW, new black BMW, and then all of a sudden you see black BMWs all over the place. And it's starting to come into your field of experience, your point of reference, your perception field, and what you're observing. So that's the same thing. The reason why we want to monitor what's going on in the subconscious mind and change beliefs that aren't serving us is because you quite literally are attracting things to you that match those frequencies of those thoughts. What our scientists have also shown is that physical matter is affected by human consciousness, by your thoughts. They did studies on bars of gold. They measured the vibrational frequency of that bar of gold, because you can measure a frequency of a thing. They measured the frequency, then they brought a subject in to focus thought on that bar of gold. When they remeasured it, the frequency had changed. And they did multiple tests and studies on different objects like this. And there's tons of studies out there. The movie What the Bleep Do We Know talks about it too, and The Secret does as well. But if you want kind of an intro level to what I'm talking about and how powerful your thoughts are, those are two good movies to explore. So, again, energy is everywhere. Your energy, everything around you is made of energy. Your thoughts are the highest form of energy. What you think about, you bring about. Where your focus goes, grows, expands. Where you're putting your focused attention is going to be instrumental in creating your life experience and your perceptions of the world. So when you think a thought, it flows down. That then affects the chemicals in your body. All the endorphins and all the neuropeptides are then released in your body. And that cascades through all your cells, which then put out a frequency. You are literally vibrating a frequency out. And hence why you say, I get a good vibe or a bad vibe from her or him or the thing or the house or whatever. So become aware of your thoughts and choose the vibe you want to put out. What do you want to emulate? How do you want to feel? So for this week and for the coming weeks, put some attention on where you want to put your focus. What kind of thoughts do you want to cultivate? Your energy is creative. You are a creative being, and we're going to get into episodes that are going to be amazing on things that you can create. I teach based on results. I'm not a theory-based person. As I said, I love studying and analyzing, but really the results I've been able to create in my life and I continue to create have been because I've applied these principles. And so these pep talks are designed to help you, A, understand them, integrate them more into your life, and then utilize them moving forward. So watch those two movies, What the Bleep Do We Know and The Secret, and start to think about just new ways that you'd like to perceive your life and your reality. Again, I mentioned in the last episode, there's no victim mindset I want you to totally be focused on solutions, on new ways of being. I want you to be gentle with yourself as you take a step forward and try out these new thought habits and patterns. It's taken me years. I mean, I am a master at my craft. I do personal development every single day because I love it. I'm reading positive literature, I'm listening to positive audios, I'm studying the mind. I am fascinated and love that stuff. And so it's changing my subconscious programming. You too can do that. Watch what you're allowing into your subconscious mind. Do you read the news every day? Are you watching the news, or are you listening to people gossip at work? All that stuff is going into your subconscious mind. You're processing it, and then over time you start to act on it and think that way. So be cognizant of what's going on in your surroundings. Take an assessment of how you feel and what new thought patterns you'd like to cultivate. What I suggest for you to do for this episode of Pep Talks is just take out a piece of paper and write down what kind of thoughts would you like to cultivate in each area of your life. Write down 5 new belief systems, new thoughts that you'd like to see in your relationships, in your career, in your health, in your play and recreation or social, in your family, in your financial, and in your personal growth or spirituality. Write down 5 beliefs, new beliefs that you want to cultivate or continue to cultivate. Maybe you have some existing ones that are serving you. And put a focus on that. I want you to read that every night before you go to bed, just to get a sense of who you're choosing to become. You already now know how powerful the subconscious mind is. You're not a victim to the past. You can, in any now moment, change what you want as you notice an old belief system surfacing that's not going to serve you. Change your mind, choose something new, and then act on it. That's key. Next time we're going to talk about inspired action and how to follow through so that you're integrating your thoughts. We're going to talk about your words and vocabulary that you use, and then your actions. And then take the time to actually craft out and create, envision, who do you want to be? Write 5 new beliefs down. And you can start with I am. Maybe in relationships, you would write, I am loving. I am creating successful relationships. Maybe in health, you say, I am healthy, vibrant, and alive every day. And lively, maybe what you would say. Or maybe in finances, it's, I am always creating solutions to create new wealth and abundance. You be the one to choose what's best for you, but take action on this. Have a fantastic week. Until next time, I love you guys.